Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Claire Ackers here, coming to you live from sunny Mills and Farsley. How are you today on this Thursday morning? I have got my Jo Malone candle on in the background, which is filling the office with the gorgeous scent of macaron. And I hope it is going to be a wonderful day today. Today, we are talking about how to get your shit together. This seems to be a very hot and a very much needed topic at the moment. Um, Everybody I'm speaking to seems to be overwhelmed at the moment. Overwhelmed, burnt out, too many tabs open. Part of it is absolutely the time of year at the moment. We have got school admin just seems to be off the charts at the moment. And the looming school holidays, lots of kids are on holiday already, just seems to be chucking everything into disarray. And even if you don't have kids, there is still a lot going on. Other people's kids are messing up your schedule. We've also got the election. We've got the Euros, whether you're a football fan or not. It's definitely affecting stuff. And July, it seems to be an absolute nightmare to schedule anything. Clients going missing. I've had to reschedule something really important this week. Clients cancelling. The algorithm on here has gone a little bit bonkers as well, which seems to be worrying people. And so many people I'm speaking to are feeling really frazzled at the moment. And there's a lot of fear about how business is going. It is genuinely tough out there for a lot of people at the moment. You would be absolutely forgiven for just pulling the duvet over your head and waiting until September when normal service resumes. So in today's conversation, I'm going to teach you some vital stuff. I'm going to teach you not only how to rise to the challenge and get everything done that you need to and want to, but also how to develop a bulletproof mindset so that whatever is going on externally, it doesn't affect you. So if that sounds good, let's go. My name is Claire Ackers. I teach female entrepreneurs authentic self-mastery. And I say this all the time, and I got challenged the other day on this. Claire, what the heck is authentic self-mastery? Sounds good, but what is it? So to me, what that means, 6 things. You have got a bold, audacious vision for your business. You are authentically visible and you show up unapologetically. You've claimed your space and you're having authentic impact and influence. You are queen bee of your business and you have got rock solid boundaries and know that your energy is everything. You take inspired action towards your goals, and mindset mastery is your number one focus at all times. And it's that piece that we're talking about today. It's really leaning into and focusing on that mindset mastery because that makes all the difference when you are faced with adversity. I want to tell you a story about my camper van. So a few years ago, I traded my very lovely, very reliable 4x4 with all the bells and whistles for a very pre-loved VW camper van, Nelly the Money Pit. And we went down to Cornwall at Easter. We always go down to Cornwall for Easter. And on the way back, the engine warning light came on. And you ignore it for a little bit, or I certainly do. My husband doesn't. I must hasten to add. But the warning light came on, and my camper van went into what is known as limp mode. Limp mode. And what is limp mode? Limp mode is when all non-vital functions cease, they shut themselves down. Power goes down to a really kind of pathetic amount of power. I mean, our van is a good few years old, so its power is negligible at the best of times, but it goes down to kind of So you've really got your foot to the floor when you're trying to get up the hill. And it basically powers down any non-essential functions and goes into limp mode just to try and get you to where you need to go. And that's how a lot of people are feeling at the moment, right? Isn't it? Too many tabs open. It's just get me to the end, make sure I'm doing what I need to do. All I can do is get through a day at a time. And it's just kind of limping towards the finish line. Let me know if that story resonates with you. And let's take a little look at what is going on at the moment, because we need to shine a light on this stuff, because you'd be forgiven for thinking it is just you that's struggling. So let's have a look at what is going on. Okay, so first and foremost, we have the looming summer holidays. At the time of recording, it's the 11th of July. Ours break up next Friday, and there is so much going on at the moment. Oh my gosh! Like yesterday, we had 2 sports days. I won the mum's race. We had 2 school discos, we had piano lessons, plus all the lost property, the teacher presents, all that stuff. It is insane at the moment. It seems that every single time I look at my emails, there's another 3 or 4 requests of things to happen. I've had to mute the class WhatsApp because they're just invasive. I've got to mute that stuff. And when they do break up, and I know a lot of kids are broken up already, it's that question of, oh my gosh, what the heck do I do with them for 6 weeks? We have got 3 kids. My husband and I are both self-employed, and we need a very detailed color-coded chart to keep on track with all the various different comings and goings. Who's going where? When do we eat? What do we eat? How do we work without dropping all the balls for our businesses? Endless requests for snacks, and the feeling of guilt of hearing, I'm bored, what can we do? So and so is doing this for the holidays. And even if you don't have kids, and I'm very mindful that not everybody does, the people that you work with, your clients, your colleagues, their kids are affecting your work as well, right? Aren't they? Their kids are having a knock-on effect on your work. It's so hard to get things in the diary, and so many people are hearing, let's just push that until September. Let's talk about holidays. Here's a confession. We haven't booked ours yet. We've got the time scheduled off work. We've got a vague plan of what we'd like to do, which is one of the lazinesses of having a camper van, is that you kind of can leave it till the last minute and wing it. But we have not currently booked anything yet. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge how hard it is to take a holiday when you're running a business. It's really tricky to take time off. Yes, we all know it's important. Yes, we all know that self-care is important, and that you can't always be working, and that, you can do bits on the beach if you really, really need to. But let's just acknowledge it is not as simple as booking annual leave with HR. You've got to schedule your social media. You've got to schedule in things the week before and cram things in for the week after, so you're not dropping the ball on anything. So that by the time you get there, you are frazzled, and you need half the time off that you've got just to come down from the stress of actually taking a holiday in the first place. And then, of course, what happens? You get ill because you've stopped. Let's talk about making things happen. July is a nightmare. Things are moving, things are rescheduled, nobody is available. I've had to reschedule something really important this week that I was so looking forward to. I'm absolutely gutted I've had to move it, and I really apologise to anybody who's been affected by this. But the date was it was not happening. It was just not happening. And so many people are hearing that, we'll look at this again in September. And they just want to scream, well, that's great, but that is no good for my cash flow. Looking at it again in September. And as well, there are a lot of heightened emotions about what is happening in the world at the moment. Let's talk about the Euros. England won last night. I have no idea how. I've been glued to the Euros this year, and it's very stressful watching, actually, isn't it? It is absolutely the hope that kills you with following England. But it does lead to heightened emotions. We've just had the general election in the UK. Now, I'm not going to talk about politics. I don't believe this is the right forum to discuss my political views. I just hope that, you voted, whichever side you voted for. I hope you've made your vote count. But it does mean change. It does mean that changes are coming. And that leads to a lot of uncertainty for people. It absolutely has a ripple effect, and everything feels a little bit wobbly and uncertain. We have still got a cost of living crisis. We have still got global unrest, and we are still being bombarded with daily news of atrocities that are happening around the world. So, what is the result of all this stuff? We've got overwhelm. We've got being burnt out. We've got being frazzled. We've got a lot of fear. We've got panic. We've got procrastination. And we've got a general lens of seeing that uncertainty and obstacles and adversity everywhere. Everything we've discussed so far may be true. May be absolutely true. However, and yet, how you respond to these set of circumstances is absolutely everything. It's that mindset mastery. My favourite question is, what are you making it mean? What narrative, what story, what meaning are you attaching to this situation? And this is so relevant for what we're talking about today. I've been in business for 9 years now. 9 years this month, actually. And I have got all the grey hairs and wrinkles of having weathered a few storms. You can't be in business for that amount of time without having experienced the roller coaster, shall we say. And the thing that has kept me going and has kept me smiling and has kept me loving this entrepreneurial life is developing a bulletproof mindset. It's choosing to know that I'm okay no matter what is going on out there, no matter the circumstances, and then being able to choose how I respond to any given circumstance. Now, that takes practice, but it absolutely is possible for you. And this is the most valuable thing that I teach my clients as well. So let's talk about my top tips for getting your shit together. So you can not only rise to the challenge of any set of circumstances, but how to develop that bulletproof mindset for yourself so that whatever is going on externally, it doesn't even touch you. So number one, we've just talked about it. It's asking yourself the question, what am I making it mean? What am I making it mean? What narrative, what story, what meaning am I attaching to this set of circumstances? And then once you have that, it's asking yourself, is believing that narrative, is believing that story, is it going to take me towards my vision or is it going to take me away from my vision? And 9 times out of 10, it's going to take you away from that vision. And then the question becomes, okay, so now I'm aware of that. What could I choose to believe instead? What narrative, what story, what state can I get myself into that is supportive of the life I'm creating, of the business that I'm creating? So many people internalize outside problems. They come to the conclusion that it is their fault. They give it some sort of meaning, whether it's imposter, whether it's that they're wrong, that they're stupid, that they've got no business running a business, that they're unequal to the task. The most valuable advice I can give you is choose another story. Choose a story that fits with the narrative that you want to create. Become the guardian of your thoughts. I was teaching this just yesterday in my Imposter to Impact course. You've got to become a curious observer. And treat your mind like you're the mad scientist and your thoughts are like you're just observing them in a petri dish. Detach from your thoughts and know that they are not your truth. And if you can do that, the world is absolutely your oyster. So that is number one, that question, what am I making it mean? My second tip is to visualize. Now, I talk a lot about negative thoughts, and how your mind cannot perceive the difference. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a real and a perceived threat. So if your imposter is triggered, if you're worried about something, if you're being rejected, if you're scared, then that fear becomes real, and your body and your mind react accordingly. So you get all the physical symptoms, the feeling sick, the crying, the sweaty palms, the blood redirecting around your body, needing to have a nervous wee, all that stuff. And you get the mental symptoms as well. You become hyper focused. You go into black and white thinking where you can't think creatively anymore. That's the negative side. However, and this is so exciting, well, I think it's exciting anyway, your mind also can't tell the difference between a real state of bliss, of joy, of abundance, and a visualized state of joy, abundance, and joy. So what you can do, if you can develop a practice of visualization, is you can literally change your state. And then your mind, your thoughts, your body, they all follow suit, because it can't tell the difference between a real and a visualized positive state. So you get yourself on that state. I literally spend 5 minutes in the shower in the morning, stepping to the energy of what I want to create that day. And then your body and your mind will believe that is the truth and follow suit. Try it. Let me know if it works for you. Number 3 is developing a rock solid ritual. Now, I use the word ritual intentionally because what a lot of people have is a routine. They think, right, I've listened to a meditation, I've written a gratitude journal, I'm good. And that can become boring, it can become meaningless. If you have a ritual, it's intentional and it has meaning. And if you can develop a ritual that works for you, this is your best defense against the downward spiral of negativity, against the bombardment of overwhelm and stuff that is happening out there. So my ritual is I wake up at 6, I immediately do some tapping. I do some mindset work. So at the moment, that's some EFT, it's some tapping. There are loads and loads of free videos available on YouTube or on Insight Timer. Sometimes I do a meditation instead, but it's something to change my energy, change my state, to raise my vibration to the state I want to be in. And then I journal. I journal for 20 minutes. Sometimes it's a gratitude list. Sometimes it's noting down my thoughts and changing them into that positive state. And then I go into my ice tub. Now, I appreciate that it's not for everybody, but it is a game changer for me. Why is it a game changer for me? Because the cold water, it changes your physiology and it forces me to be present. It cuts out all the chatter and I just get this absolute clarity when I'm in the ice tub about what I need to do and what I need to focus on. Now, having that ritual is absolutely gold, because I know that whatever is going on out there, I've got that practice to return to. This is a practice, Daily Essential Standards, or DES, we call them inside my community. If you can get yourself a practice like this, the world is absolutely your oyster. Tip number 4 is to focus on the glimmers. So often we focus on the shit stuff. We focus on what's wrong. We focus on what's rubbish out there. If you can focus on the glimmers, and by that I mean the signs, the specks, the synchronicities from the universe, and they are out there, I promise you. That conversation is far too long for us to go into today, even though I'm really tempted to. But there are 85 million bits of information passing through your sphere every day. The positive, the glimmers are absolutely out there. You just need to consciously choose to focus on them. If you can focus on those glimmers, then everything will seem absolutely possible. Because remember, what you focus on will grow. You've got a choice. And then finally, number 5 is take inspired action. Don't just moan. Do something about it. Take action, change your circumstances. I know it's hard. I know it can sometimes feel like you are the lone voice. You're the only one trying to do something differently, to swim against the crowd, going against conventional wisdom and what everybody else knows to be fact. And to take inspired action, it's about connecting to who you are at your core. It's about connecting to your inner voice. It's about connecting to your inner wisdom, and then taking relentless, unapologetic, inspired action that feels good. Because remember, as I just said, what you focus on grows, and that's where the momentum comes from. So those are my 5 top tips for getting your shit together. Have I missed any? Let me know. Let me know what has particularly resonated with you. And I just want to take a moment, if you have heard this and you think, yeah, that all sounds great, but actually that's just something else to add to my list and I would like some help to make this all happen. I want to talk about my summer special offer. For if you would like my help to do this work today. Now, this summer special offer, it's a one-to-one coaching offer. It's super simple, super sharp, super impactful, and it is intentionally designed to give you your version of having it all. What is that? So specifically, a brilliant summer of fun, whatever that means to you, to keep the money rolling in and consistent, keep you on track with your business so that by the time it is September, you are ready to go like that, ready to ramp it up again, rather than starting from scratch again, which I know is really, really common in September. So what is the summer special offer? Really simple. You get 3 one-to-one coaching sessions with me, either in the shed quarters in this office or online, depending on where you're based. You also get 24/7 WhatsApp support with me. So in between sessions, if something's going wrong, if you need a bat signal for some help, you get private WhatsApp chat with me as well. Now, this package is normally £1,500 plus VAT. The summer special offer is just 997 plus VAT. So it is an absolute bargain. Now, 2 spaces for this were snapped up before I could even talk about this publicly. So 1 space is remaining. If you think it might be yours, just drop me a message. Nothing formal, nothing too fancy. Drop me a message if you'd like to chat about it and we can just have a chat. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day and I will see you very soon.